just so the guy in the White House doesn't think he slipped one past us, on Friday, he quietly ordered a ban on transgender troops serving in the military. Now, we have a volunteer army, and if folks want to serve their country, how can he say, no, they don't fit in? Because it doesn't really make much sense. He says there are exceptions. Current transgender service members who have not yet undergone reassignment surgery, they can stay. But troops who require or who have already had gender reassignment surgery would be disqualified. It doesn't make any sense. You know what? It's just if you want to fight for this country, if you want to go and fight for this country, there have been transgender people in all of the armed services.
But where is this coming from? Because wasn't Trump the person that said Caitlyn Jenner can use any bathroom in my hotel?
Russia.
And so now all of a sudden he's coming out against this.
Somebody this is the third time he's done this.
He did slip it in.
Dodged the draft so many times.
He slipped it in under the Stormy Daniels story.
Yeah.
All these stories are happening. And what you start to realize is that when we're all watching one thing, that we're like, why are we all still talking about this? There's always something else that's going on.
Why would he do this? This is not who he said he was.
Oh, come on.
Oh, my God.
I'm so confused.
You're not confused. You're not confused.
Listen,
you're too smart to be that confused.
But
you're too smart to be that confused.
If he said, that he was supportive of transgender people using his bathrooms in his hotel, then why would he?
Because he doesn't want you fighting for him.
Well, there's also
he wouldn't fight for us.
Well, hello.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is all about his base. It's always about his base. He's got Stormy on this side. He's got that other one, Karen, on this side. He's got Michael Cohen in trouble. Everybody's jumping off the ship. He's got to do something to give that red meat to his base all the time, and that's what this is now.
And to get you to stop talking about Stormy.
But, I also want to point out that, it's not just fighting for your country. A lot of these people are very, very highly skilled.
Yes.
I think of Renee Richards, one of the first transgenders that we had in this country, was a great tennis player, also an ophthalmologist and brilliant surgeon.
Yes.
So it's like you have people who are highly skilled, whether they're transgender or they're not.
And people who fight for this country, as you pointed out, that's something you didn't do, sir.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. So for all those people who want to, who have been doing it,
get out of the way.
Thank you for your service.
He had bone spur.
Yeah.
Say God forbid, he had bone spur.
Whatever he had, he didn't do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so to tell someone who is volunteering to do this that they're not good enough
their lives
is ridiculous. You do it first, man.
Deploy just by lifting up, but they stay in place, they're locked into place. And there's a little button on the side, you just push, bring it down.
You won't be able to see that anymore on YouTube. The social media site's banning firearm instructional videos. This on the heels of famous conservatives being banned on Twitter, and Facebook allegedly burying conservative news feeds. Former Pussycat Doll singer Kaya Jones is a supporter of gun rights and a Native American ambassador with the National Diversity Coalition for Trump. She joins me now. Hi. So, Kaya, hello. Yes. Welcome to Waters World.
Thank you. It's your world.
It is. You've been watching. So, it's my opinion that these social media platforms are slowly but surely targeting conservatives in a stealth mode. Do you fear that? And I feel like it could get worse.
Oh, it's going to get worse. I mean, it's not getting better. They keep enforcing more and more and more censorship. And so that's our First Amendment, is freedom of speech. The Second protects all of the amendments. So if you're attacking our Second Amendment, I mean, divide and conquer, you take away anyone's right to fight back. And so the moment that we can't fight back, it's over.
Right. So the mainstream media pushes out conservative voices on television and on the papers, and then you see the entertainment industry pushing conservatives out. And if it happens on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, just leave the Instagram alone. Don't touch the Instagram. It is funny, though, that you can still see bomb-making videos on YouTube, but no more gun-making videos.
Or terrorists, or training of children into the terrorist regime.
ISIS videos are okay on YouTube, but law-abiding Second Amendment supporters can't show you how to lock and load?
Well, because at the end of the day, that's what they want. They want to take this country over and force its hand into the world order. That's what it's all about.
All right. You think it's that dire?
I do. I do think it's that dire. And so I'm going to keep talking about it, because as long as I keep talking about it, we keep pushing the narrative of the truth. We need to seek the truth. We need to fight for our amendment and our rights as American citizens. Then that's it. I mean, I'm never going to stop.
All right. So on the topic of the Second Amendment, there's a guy named David Hogg who, as many of you guys have seen, is probably the leading face and voice of the Parkland shooting student revolt. This is what he said the other day. Let's hear what he had to say.
They're pathetic that want to keep killing our children. It just makes me think what sick are out there that want to continue to sell more guns, murder more children, and honestly just get reelected. What type of person are you when you want to see more money than children's lives? What type of person does that?
So this student has gone from a really balanced, articulate young man when we've heard him speaking right after the shooting, and now he's just dropping bombs. What kind of changed, in your opinion, with him?
I think he's pushing a very hard narrative. It's all politically driven. I mean, his parents, we know what his parents are involved in. They've exposed that. So, I mean...
What are his parents involved in?
I believe his mother is involved with stuff with CNN, and his dad used to work for the FBI, if I'm correct. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a very hard narrative by this child. I was at the shooting at Route 91, and I wanted to gun up, not gun down. So, as far as I'm concerned, as someone who went through this horrible tragedy, which he's gone through, to push this narrative of taking away guns. Less guns do not equate less mad men, okay? So at the end of the day, if someone wants to kill you with a gun, they're going to kill you with a gun. Now, do you want to fight back, or do you want to sit and run into a corner and go, okay, well, I don't know what to do? They're going to kill you, they're going to kill you. Are you going to fight back, or are you just going to turn into a...
Don't say it. You can, maybe you can get away with that because you used to work for the Pussycat Dolls.
Well, yeah, I'm a, pink-haired pussycat. Don't need a,
All right, you have a lot. You have a lot to apologize for. Let's go to Roseanne Barr. She's got a new show out, and she did an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, and this was just delicious. Watch this.
How about Captain Wacko we got running the country here? I mean, foreign policy. I'm shocked because I know you were a very liberal, socially liberal person in general. I mean,
I'm still the same. You all moved.
We did?
You all went so far out, you lost everybody. I mean, seriously.
You're probably right, by the way.
A lot of your audience, and including me, I just want to say this, Jimmy. A lot of us, no matter who we voted for, we don't want to see our president fail.
Right.
Right.
I know.
Because we don't want Pence.
And yet we've seen it over again.
You want Pence? You want Pence for the friggin' president?
No, I don't want him
then
either.
Zip that
Okay, what has happened in this country where Roseanne is the voice of reason?
Yeah, it's a scary day but she made some really, really good points. I mean, it's true. She's focused on, don't you want to support our president? I mean, what's the alternative? He's our president. You have to support him and get behind his initiative. He's trying and doing his best. And I mean, the constant forcing down our throats the narrative of things that are not true, that the other side is actually guilty for. It's very textbook Psych 101, which is, if you're guilty, you're going to say, oh, no, you're guilty, right? So that's what they're doing is, oh, he's guilty with this and he's guilty with that. And these are all things that are proven on their side, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Kaya Jones, everybody.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you very much. Up next, Diamond and Silk on crazy Joe Biden threatening to knock Trump out. Stay tuned.
When a guy who ended up becoming our national leader said, I can grab a woman anywhere and she likes it, and then said, I didn't make a mistake, but they asked me, would I like to debate this gentleman? And I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Joe Biden itching to get back in the ring, literally and figuratively. President Trump hitting back on Twitter. Crazy Joe Biden is trying to act like a tough guy. Actually, he is weak, both mentally and physically. And yet he threatens me for the second time with physical assault. He doesn't know me, but he would go down fast and hard. Crying all the way, don't threaten people, Joe. Here to react, video bloggers Diamond and Silk. Ladies, Joe Biden thinks he's Joe Frazier. You think he has a shot?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. The president was right. You know, it's time for the American people to start looking at Joe Biden. You know, he's acting like a deranged schoolyard bully, you know, bullying the president, communicating threats towards a sitting president. And we heard that he is doing this here because he is thinking about running for president. Perhaps he needs to run for that border if he don't know how to respect a sitting president.
That's right.
And see, the people that's voting Democrat, you need to look at this person that represents the Democratic Party. We are tired of them trying to manipulate, intimidate in order to dominate. It's time for people to walk off the Democratic Party because these people are the people of bully. They like to bully people and call people out of their names and talk about threatening people and fighting people for no reason at all.
And I think Joe is a little upset because he didn't have the guts to run against President Trump.
Oh,
he would have got beat back.
Oh, most definitely.
I think if Joe did run for the border, he could probably get right back in because the border's so not secure. Let's show a picture of Joe the last time he got a little fresh. Remember he sat on some biker chick's lap? Did you ever see the side eye that the man gave? Let's see if we could show that on the screen.
Wow. Interesting.
All right, so let's go to the late night hosts. A lot of hate coming out of their mouths against the president and his family. Let's take a listen.
Melania Trump holding a summit to stop cyberbullying is like Camille Cosby calling a meeting with Benadryl. It's making people woozy.
Hope Hicks, thanks to your force field of bland, pretty whiteness, you'll probably escape this nightmare presidency unscathed. You'll disappear into a nice, wealthy anonymity in a nice town somewhere, and someday you'll go to the gates of the nice white Protestant heaven where St. Peter will laugh in your face and say, "You think you're getting in here? You helped burn down democracy. Get your downstairs."
Now, the late night comedians, and I'll put that in quotes, they can go after Trump. I don't have a problem with that, but they don't go after anybody on the left. I mean, have you seen Bernie Sanders? That is a huge target.
No, they don't go after anybody on the left. Listen, I look at these people, they represent Hollywood. And who they need to talk about is Hollywood. Talk about all of the inequality that goes on in Hollywood, the abuse that goes on in Hollywood. Don't talk about this White House when their house is not in order. That's what they should be talking about, their own selves. Not this president, not people in his cabinet that was in his cabinet. They shouldn't be talking about that at all.
And not to mention, they're not even funny.
That's a good point, Silk. Let's listen to another Hollywood type, Jim Carrey. I want to show you a painting that he painted. I guess it's a portrait of Sarah Huckabee Sanders. He says, "This is the portrait of a so-called Christian whose only purpose in life is to lie for the wicked. Monstrous." I mean, what happened to Dumb and Dumber, ladies?
Well, you know what? Jim Carrey is probably trying to revamp his career, but where's the Me Too movement and the Time's Up movement to call him out about how he is abusing and talking and just, you know, just being really derogatory against another woman. But you don't hear them talking about that. Or maybe Jim Carrey, what he should do is get him some crayons and paint himself and revamp his career as an artist or something like that, because he's not doing good as an actor.
That's right. He's going down in flames.
Maybe Joe Biden should step in and knock him out for mistreating women like that. If you guys want to see the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat tour, they go to diamondandsilk.com. Is that correct to get tickets?
Absolutely. We're going to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. Go to diamondandsilk.com to get your Chit Chat tour tickets.
All right, ladies. I'll see you next week.